My first playlist that I would like to share with you is all of the Bruckner symphonies. You're going to find that on our partner, Prime Phonic. If you subscribe, also, it gives a little bit of money to the Arapahoe Philharmonic, and you get a free, I believe, 2 months of thousands of symphonic music playlists. My first playlist is all of the Bruckner symphonies. So I know that's a long time. You know, they're around 1.5 hours per symphony. At 9 symphonies, that's 12, 13 hours. Maybe some of us have a little time to kill. Um, this playlist has recordings by uh, great conductors, some of the greatest conductors who ever lived. Seiji Ozawa, Paavo Järvi, Herbert Blomstedt, Maris Janssens, Christian Thielemann, Zubin Mehta, and of course Sir Simon Rattle, and they're all with the Berlin Philharmonic. Um, in times of struggle, in times of trouble, throughout my life, I've always turned to the music of Anton Bruckner. I found his music to possess a spiritual quality that follows in the path of Ludwig van Beethoven. So, music that tells us there's something greater. We're part of a greater whole. Music that comforts us. If the voice of God could speak, it would be Anton Bruckner. And I sometimes kind of feel like I say that with Ludwig van Beethoven, like the bass that comes out at the beginning of the fourth movement of the Ninth Symphony, is the voice of Beethoven, which is transmitting the voice of God. But the symphonies of Bruckner are just this thing, this isolated thing in the floating in the middle of the universe, that came from Beethoven, it came from Haydn and Bach. But Bruckner was somebody who waited till he was 40 to really put music out there in a professional way. He was an organist for a cathedral, and he sat at the organ for most of his life and dreamt up these amazing creations. And so I would say, if you were going to go in a particular order with the music of Anton Bruckner, I would recommend the Fourth Symphony to start, then the Seventh Symphony, then the Eighth Symphony, then the Ninth Symphony, then maybe the Sixth, then the Fifth, and then 3, 2, 1, and actually there's a Zero Symphony. And there's a big to-do about Bruckner's editions, and when you're conducting a Bruckner symphony, you always have to make sure your score as a conductor matches the parts that the orchestra is playing, because Bruckner was such a perfectionist, and he toiled so much over all of these symphonies that there are different versions out there. But if you're listening to this playlist, the Prime Phonic Complete Bruckner Symphony playlist, you can rest assured that the Berlin Philharmonic and the Berlin Philharmonic is one of my favorite orchestras, one of the greatest orchestras in the history of humanity. And these conductors are choosing the best versions, the most impactful versions, the versions that can elevate our spirits to the highest degree. And I would leave you with this excerpt from the development, which is the middle section of the first movement of Bruckner's Fourth Symphony, subtitled "The Romantic Symphony." And you're going to hear the opening theme, this horn call that starts the beginning of the symphony, but of course makes an appearance with a flute in the development. And strangely enough, the violas sneak in with this incredible counter melody. And so horn and versus viola, horn duet with viola, it's such an unprecedented combination. And if that weren't enough, it becomes viola. And if you know, the violas kind of are the middle string instrument that is usually filling out the harmony. Sorry to say, violists out there. But it's usually just this the middle, maybe the cheese layer of the sandwich. It flavors everything. It gives you great protein, but it's not, the meat. But here, it takes center stage. And then if just the horn and viola combination were enough, the whole brass stand in opposition to the violas. And this is a trademark Bruckner moment of pure magic and majesty that it can be found in all of his symphonies at various points. So check out the Bruckner symphonies. Let me know what you think. Let us know what you think. Enjoy.